information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Inventing a Paycheck with Mary and Heather. I'm Mary Goulet.
And I'm Heather Ryder, and today we're talking about doing a podcast, doing a radio show as a business.
Yes. So a little bit of background. Heather and I have been doing internet radio since 2002-ish.
Oh, my.
Seriously.
Oh, my. That's almost 18 years.
Yes. And what we found to be successful about doing it, we're going to share with you, because I know everybody's now podcasting. So I remember, gosh, I don't know, just a couple of years ago, going to the New Media Summit, and everybody's like, I'm podcasting. I'm like, what's a podcast? And they're like, well, you record something, and then you make it an MP3. And I'm like, well, that's what I've been doing since 2002. Why is it called a podcast?
But it's a big business.
It's become huge.
And a lot of people are getting into podcasting for a lot of different reasons. Audio is a great vehicle for communicating with people. But now, can I just share this one little number with you?
Yes.
By the Interactive Advertising Bureau, the U.S. podcast advertising, this is just from a couple of years ago, in 2017 increased 86% from that prior year, from 314 million as compared to 169 million just the year before. An 86% increase in advertising revenues from one year to the next. And you know that number has even gone up exponentially since then.
Yeah, and there are people who have a podcast and maybe don't focus on monetizing it, but there are definitely ways to monetize it. I know one guy, such a huge niche, just a niche, but he's maximized his niche to the tune of $600,000 a year in just his podcast.
How much again?
$600,000 he
a
makes.
year? Yes.
Yes.
So here's the deal. Podcasting is a business. Audio is a business. But we're going to talk about in this segment is what keeps people from doing it. What are the obstacles that keep you, if you're sitting at home wondering, I want to do that. I want a podcast. But then you get in your mind about all the different obstacles. There's the technology. There's the editing. There's the recording. There's the booking of guests and interviewing guests.
Post-production.
And content. What are you going to talk about? And it goes on and on and on. And we're going to alleviate a lot of those concerns with a new way to do it.
A new way.
A new way is the old way.
I was going to say.
But it's the best way.
The best way. Okay, so we've been at WS Radio since 2000. I've been here since 2002. I dragged Heather in 2003.
Oh, yeah. I was over at World Talk. Remember World Talk Radio?
I was at World Talk as well, and then moved back to WS Radio.
Isn't that funny? Back in then,
yes.
It was like WS Radio, World Talk Radio.
And World Talk's gone by the wayside long ago, but Wade and WS Radio are here to stay.
So we're going to talk to you about how you can podcast or do audio the way that we do audio. And we want you to start thinking about live radio and streaming as a way of recording your podcast and all the different, we're going to give you all the benefits of doing audio the way that we do audio, because we too have been in this, got caught up in the podcast. When I wanted to do a podcast, and I've been doing radio since 2002, right. I can understand how people who have never done audio or radio or broadcasting can get themselves in a spin and keep themselves from doing something, because then all of a sudden you start thinking about it too much, and all the different things and the editing and the perfection of a podcast and blah blah blah.
Yes, I know people who will record a podcast on one day and then edit it the next day. Like totally edit their words and
then be listening to it and then not be happy with it, or oh, I should have said this way, or I should have said that way. I should have asked that question of that guest, and that guest didn't say this the way that I wanted them to say it. I mean, you can go on and on and on. And so then you go back into the post-production and the editing, and then what do? If you're not completely happy with it, you don't publish it?
Yeah, I like to leave. So you and I, we record live. And
we stream.
We stream. Yes, we do. We stream. So, and we're going to be redoing, like getting callers again, which is great. Getting callers, the interaction. But like I think I mentioned to you yesterday, or it was maybe Dave, I said, I like to hear people being real. And sometimes if they pause or they say, I can hear them thinking.
Yes.
And I like to hear people thinking. I don't want to edit out my thinking portion of it.
Because it's conversational.
Yes.
And that's what a radio show or creating audio content should be. It should be conversational, and you want to bring people in to the conversation. And so if it's polished and edited and you take out those
thinking
pauses,
moments.
those thinking moments, you take away that conversation.
And then it limits the connection.
Like right now, I have to clear my throat a little bit.
I do. It's because it's early in the morning. So some people like to totally script out their show. And we don't do that. But what is super helpful is have talking points. So you're in the conversation and you see on your paper, oh, let's cover these topics. And I started talking points in the beginning because I thought I would run out of something to say.
They're basically your own interview questions.
Exactly. And typically we run out of time before we run out of something to say. However, to keep you moving along and making sure you get what you want to be conveyed out, have a couple of talking points.
Well, and this is also, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, Mary and Heather, give me the meat, I want to know how you do it. I want to do it that way. I want to at least try it that way. We're going to have this on inventingapaycheck.com. It's just going to be a little download that will walk you through really easily, efficiently, point by point, step by step, the way that we do this to create audio products, to create a podcast, to create a live radio show that is efficient, it's on point, it's less stressful, and it gets your content out into the world and published in the easiest possible manner.
Yes.
And it sounds great, and it's professional.
Exactly. And then you can decide what type of show do you really want. Do you want just interview style, banter, no real teaching moments, just sharing moments? Mm-hmm. Like Breakfast Club is very popular, and they have well-known people on the show, and they just shoot the heck, you know what I mean? Back and forth. This show, Inventing a Paycheck, is about just that.
It is what we say what the title says it is. We're all about shining the light also on people who are inventing a paycheck, how you're starting a business, growing a business, and inventing a paycheck for yourself.
Exactly.
And how you can do that if you want to do that.
So do we want to give them a couple of tidbits about doing their own audio program? Because
well, throughout this show, we're going to bring on Wade.
Yes.
Which we're super excited about. He helps us produce this live radio show, this live streaming, which we then convert over to a podcast. And we do it professionally, efficiently, and cost effectively. He's going to walk us through that because we're going to share with you how you could possibly do that and work with Wade as well.
Yes. So if you have a voice, if you have something that you want to talk about or share with other people, I don't care if it's basket weaving, knitting, car detailing. You remember the car show way back?
Which one?
On AM radio, there was this syndicated...
Click and Clack.
Yes.
Yeah. Car Talk.
Car Talk. They talked about cars.
They were brilliant. They are they were brilliant.
And that was a way ahead of their time podcast.
Yes.
They
did a live radio show.
They did a live radio show, took callers, and Archived it. That's what we used to call it.
Archived it.
Yep.
Your archive is your podcast.
Yes.
And how you do that and how you create a radio show and the ability to take callers, it just, and it's the conversation, and people then take away all the angst. I don't know. I think that doing it live and streaming it live takes away a lot of the pressure.
Well, what I love, we show up, we sit down, put our headphones on, get in front of the mic, go on live. We can take some callers.
Our music rolls.
Our music rolls, tells you when to get in and out of the segment.
Mm-hmm.
4
It's
segments.
timed.
And when we're done, do the show notes, go home.
Yes.
Maybe write it up in a newsletter, and we're done. We don't do any post.
Done.
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 One and done.
Finished.
Yep.
Complete.
Kaput.
Wrapped.
Yeah, so we want to share with you, and if you would like to do this, you don't have to worry about the equipment. You don't have to worry about post-production. Pre-production is, what do I want to talk about?
Well, that's just showing up prepared.
Yes, with a couple of talking points. Maybe you have a guest. Maybe you're certain things that you want to say during the segment at a certain time to elicit callers, to comment about a caller or comment about what transpired from the last show. Just all this little basic stuff. And then it's just conversation.
And we're going to walk you through all of that on inventingapaycheck.com. And coming up, we're also going to tell you how to monetize a podcast.
All right, so you're listening to Inventing a Paycheck with Mary and Heather. We'll be right back.
In the military, things can change in an instant. At Navy Mutual Aid Association, we understand because it's our life too. That's why our dedication to serving the life insurance needs of our military veterans and their families is unrivaled. Navy Mutual offers superior life insurance protection without military service restrictions and limitations. A single focus on providing the peace of mind military families are looking for. That's what we do. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Call 800-628-6011 or go to NavyMutual.org.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McCullough brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcCullough.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McCulloughe. ChristopherMcCullough.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
I've been bragging about Progressive Medical Center to you guys for years, and I'm so excited to have Dr. Agoli with us because, Dr. Agoli, a lot of people walk through your doors, and some of their biggest problems are they're just fatigued, they're tired all the time, and even though they're dieting and exercising, they cannot get the weight off. Why is that?
It's a combination of poor metabolism, inappropriate eating, but more importantly, it's due to a lack of education and really doing the right testing. A lot of our patients are metabolically compromised. What does that mean? Their metabolism is not functioning. The metabolism is responsible for all physical and chemical processes necessary to sustain life, and that includes energy. And without cellular energy, your body is not going to be a burning machine. Let's get back and teach our listeners to be a fat-burning machine.
It's been a lot easier to maintain my weight since Progressive Medical Center started treating me with all-natural supplements, learning proper nutrition, and that can be you today. No more frustrations about being tired or overweight. So why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today through ProgressiveMedicalCenter.com.
This is your life, live it well.